I'm joined on the line by Jason Siv. He's the director of Operation Smile. His organization conducted 273 cleft palate and cleft lip operations on children in the DRC in just 10 days earlier this month. Jason's going to talk to us a little bit more about this.
So 273 surgeries were performed. That was done across two mission sites. Ordinarily, when Operation Smile runs a mission into Africa or other countries, we run single missions because logistically it's just that much simpler. For various reasons, this occasion we ran what we call a mega mission, which is two missions that are happening at the same time. We had one in Kinshasa, one in Lubumbashi, where we had 84 volunteers, many of those South Africans, and we sent in basically two teams to two different mission sites. We set up 5 or 6 operating tables in Kinshasa and 4 or 5 in Lubumbashi, and between the two mission sites, we performed 177 surgeries in Kinshasa and just short of 100 in Lubumbashi.
Now, your organization performs reconstructive surgery on children with cleft palate, but of course it extends further to their ability just to smile. You give them the ability to do so much more through the surgery. Talk to us about that.
So, in many of these countries, they do not have the surgical capacity to deal with children born with cleft lips and cleft palates. And the procedure is really, really simple. A cleft lip can be fixed in as little as 45 minutes, and a palate can be taken care of in 90 minutes. And for experienced teams that are used to doing many of these surgeries in one day on each table, it's really manageable for the teams. We have teams that comprise of plastic surgeons, anaesthetists, pre-op nurses, post-op nurses, dentists, child carers, and within these countries, it seems complicated, but for us to go in there and set up these mission sites and be there for 10 days, we can get through large number of kids in a relatively short period of time. And there aren't many organizations around the world that have this logistical ability and surgical capacity. And Operation Smile South Africa has been going for about 10 years. Operation Smile International has been operating for 20 years. So it's our 8th or 9th time we've gone into the DRC, and we unfortunately didn't get through all the kids that required surgery this time. So that's why we just keep going back.
Of course, these surgeries allow children the opportunity to eat and
Sure.
perform the simplest of functions that they wouldn't have otherwise been able to do easily. Talk to us about that.
So specifically, a cleft palate can be very, very disruptive for a child in its ability to feed. There are some kids who don't see their first birthday because they're just unable to feed, and not only are they unable, the parents don't have the skills, together with the community medical supervisors. There is education required around how these kids need to feed and what's required, and we play quite a pivotal role in getting there and assisting where we can with feeding, etc. So for us to get there and perform a cleft palate surgery on a kid who's struggling to feed, it's life-changing almost immediately. For a kid with a cleft palate, very often they're ostracized. They can't attend school. There's an absolute misunderstanding as to why kids are born with cleft lips and cleft palates. And besides the educational part of it, for us to go there and change 300 children's lives in a matter of 10 days, it's not only a change to the child's life, but it changes their whole family's life, because the family can now function as a unit and have a child that can live a normal life like a kid should.
To a viewer who's now very interested in Operation Smile, wants to perhaps interact with you via social networks, or just wants to find out a little bit more about how they can get involved, how can we contact Operation Smile?
If you just Google Operation Smile South Africa, there is a website that's very, very informative. It's got all our details on. Our physical office is here in Cape Town, and we are basically waiting with open arms for volunteers that will be involved. We have a lot of medical volunteers, obviously, and we also have non-medical volunteers that assist in fundraising, assist in gathering goods that are that kids want and kids play with. So when we go on a mission, before a kid goes into surgery, kids want to play with toys and regular kid stuff. So there's absolutely a part to play for non-medical volunteers. And then most importantly, we can't run these missions without sufficient funding. And 80% of our funding is raised locally here with some incredible donors and corporates and sponsors. So for local chapters and communities that want to assist in fundraising in their areas of influence, it's always greatly appreciated.
Jason, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.